Hi, I'm Mike from 1A Auto. We've been selling auto parts for over 30 years.
In this video, I'm going to show you how to remove and reinstall these rear shoes. The reason why we're reusing them, there's still a lot of life left on these shoes. If your shoes were a lot thinner and they needed to be replaced, the procedure is going to be the same. All right, we're going to take this hubcap off. We're going to use a pry bar to get in behind it. If you can grab it with your fingers, that'll work, but just pry it out a little bit, pull it off. We're going to use the 21mm socket and a breaker bar. We're going to crack these lug nuts free. Just get them a little bit loose. We don't want to take them off completely. There we go. Now we're going to raise and support the vehicle. You want to keep in mind, when doing this job, you don't want to have the parking brake on, so it's a good idea to chock the front wheels. I'll take these lug nuts off. Now we'll take the wheel off. Now we have to remove this cover. I'm going to use a scraper. You could use like a chisel or a real thin screwdriver and a hammer. I'm just going to tap it right here. Actually, it might be a little easier if I go from this direction. It's just separating the cover right there. So I'll just move over a little bit and tap it from here. Pop it right off. Now we're going to remove this bearing nut with a 30mm socket and a breaker bar. Now that I got it a little bit loose, I'm going to use a ratchet. Pull that nut off. Now I'm going to pull with both hands. Just slide this out. Just like that. So I'm going to take some pliers like these that have a little hook on them, and I'm going to take these springs off. Start with the bottom one. You could use needle nose, but the ones with the hook is a little bit safer because then it hooks onto the spring. Set that aside. It's always a good idea to do one side at a time so that in the case when you take it apart and you don't know where something goes, you can always reference the other side. Next, we'll take this spring off. Grab it right here. Do similar. Just gonna push it, pull it off, just like that. Set it aside. Next, we need to take these two clips off. These can be a little tricky. If you have like a trim tool, you can get in there. Just be careful because the spring can go flying, the spring clip. So I'm going to take some needle nose pliers and just compress this spring clip, pull it off, just like that. I can take this adjuster remember how it goes in. So when you set it aside so that you remember which way it goes. Next, we'll take this spring clip off. Use the needle nose again. It's a good idea to wear safety glasses too when you're doing this, in case it goes flying. Squeeze it and then pull it off. This shoe will just come off like that. This shoe is attached. This is what activates your parking brake. This is the parking brake cable. So to pull this off, you're going to pull this spring back. It's going to be a little bit tricky, and then pull that off, and then watch your fingers. Let that go. And the new shoes should have this attached to it. While this is all apart, I can take some brake parts cleaner, clean it off. Make sure not to breathe in any of the brake dust. We could have did this before we took the brake shoes off as well. These were really not that dirty, but so let that dry. So we want to take a wire brush and clean these contact areas where the shoes actually contact the backing plate. You could use some sandpaper or some emery cloth. Just clean those up. So those 6 areas right there. Just wipe them down with a rag. I'll take a little bit of brake caliper grease and just put just a little bit on. You don't want to put too much on. Just coat it. Just like that. So these are the 2 shoes. This one with this lever on it is always going to be the back shoe. Another thing you can tell is the primary shoe or the first shoe is going to be the smaller one. And the secondary shoe is the bigger one. So this will go on the back. This one will go on the front. So we'll start with the secondary shoe. The way this lever is going to hook up to this parking brake cable, it's going to go that direction. So we're going to push back on the spring and slide this through like that. And that's going to go just like that. And we can line this brake pin up. This is what's going to secure the pad on, the shoe on. Slide that through there, right like that. You can take this clip. You can try to push it on and get it on like that, or we can take our needle nose pliers, crush this down, slide it over, slide it over the pin, and lock it in. Pull this shoe up, just like that. So that's in position. This little area of the shoe goes into where the wheel cylinder is. This is the wheel cylinder. That's what actually pushes the shoes out when you step on the brake pedal. Now we'll install this front shoe, or the primary shoe. Get that in position there with the clip. Try to push it on. Just use the needle nose, it's a lot easier. Squeeze this. Push it on like that, and then we'll get it in position. Just like that. All right, so now we're going to reinstall the self-adjuster. If you're replacing the shoes, you're going to want to screw this in so that the shoes are in the proper position so that when you put the drum on, they slide on easier. How this works is when the brakes are released, it actually moves this spring and it'll adjust it out. So we're going to slide this over here, and this is going to slide over here. Bring the shoe out. Just like that. I'm going to install this spring. We're going to slide one end with the hook into the primary shoe, the front shoe. And then the back end, I'm going to use some needle nose pliers. I'm going to grab the hook like that. Just be careful when doing this. Just slide it and get it in the hole. Just push the spring in. It's almost there. It's right on the corner. All right, we get the top spring in. Now we're going to install the lower spring. One's going to go in the secondary shoe right here. Clip that in there, and then we'll use our needle nose pliers. Get it on here and pry it over. Slip it right into that hole, and it's all set. Now we're going to take the shoes, make sure they're centered. We're going to have to go up a little bit, make sure it's in the middle of where the wheel cylinder is. This side's down a little bit, tap it up a little bit. That should be good. When we put our drum on, if the drum slides on easily or too easily, we can adjust the adjuster. If it's sliding properly, then we're good to go. Next, we can install the drum. Slide this on. Make sure it spins pretty good. Video. This drum spins a little bit easy and it's not touching the brake shoes at all, so I'm just going to pull it off. I'm just going to adjust the adjuster out a little bit. To adjust it out a little bit, I'm just going to slide this down. I'll just use a screwdriver. And I slide this adjuster down. That's going to push the shoes out a little bit. All right, that's pretty good. And if it was too tight, you would turn the adjuster the other way. And that's pretty good. So leave that like that. Next, we're going to take the nut, install the nut. All right, so I'm going to use a 30mm socket and a ratchet. I'm going to snug up this bolt. I'm just going to spin the drum while I'm doing this. Next, I'm going to use a torque wrench. I'm going to torque it to 177 foot-pounds. I'm just going to spin the drum while I do that so that the bearing seats pretty good. It's spinning good. Next, we're going to install this dust shield. I'm just going to line it up. If you had a socket that fit around this, that would be good to use to hammer it on. I'm just going to tap it on lightly. Try not to mess anything up. I can take a screwdriver, tap it on, go all the way around. It's all set. Now we're going to install the wheel. Slide that on, put the lug nuts on. snug them down with a 21mm socket and a ratchet. Then we'll lower the vehicle down and torque them. Now we're going to torque these lug nuts with a 21mm socket and a torque wrench. We're going to torque them to 84 foot-pounds in a star pattern or a cross pattern so that the wheel gets tightened down evenly. Now we're going to install the hubcap. You want to find this groove that's where the valve stem goes. So line that up with the valve stem. Hold the hubcap on. Just give it a little tap. You can use a rubber mallet or the palm of your hand.
Thanks for watching. Visit us at 1aauto.com for quality auto parts, fast and free shipping, and the best customer service in the industry.